Oh no, Lamar got left. He got left at the airport. No.
Oh no.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let me take away with.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Cole, DC, UPenn's finest, and Chris Coacher, CB, Coacher Boy. We have another great episode for you guys this week. Of course, we're going to talk NBA Weekly, Summits, Plummets to start off the episode. And then, instead of doing our normal, preview, review, we're going to talk about some NFL Midseason Awards. It's about that time. I mean, usually it would be past week 8, but, there's 18 weeks in the season now. Week 10 feels like a good time. Well, after week 9 feels like a good time. So we're going to talk about that. We're still going to give hots and locks. We're still going to do summit savings, but bulk of this episode, we're giving out some mid-season hardware. If it ever existed, it does today. Because I think a lot of our favorite players would be getting some hardware today. But of course, before we get into any of that, Summits Plummets, Danny can get us kicked off.
I think it counts as a summit and a plummet. I got a official date for my ACL surgery set in December 21st.
That's a W.
That's a W. Yeah, about to say that's a dub to me. Yeah.
I mean, the surgery, the rehab, but like, hey, you're getting it fixed.
Exactly. And apparently, I didn't tear it in May. I tore it last December, and then the doctor was like, whatever happened in May was just additional from months before.
Oh, so it was probably partial tear, and then.
So the summit is when I maxed out squatting in March, I was squatting 455, 465 with a torn ACL.
Elite strength. TBA.
I will let y'all know this. Anytime Danny brings up weightlifting, the number's very high. He did it at school. He has different power.
I did it at Fusion.
He can't lift at our normal gym. He can't do it. I don't know what it is, but any other gym, it's kind of like that one time, this one dude for the Miami Heat in 2011, he was really good. And then, this 5'8" guy appeared in front of him. He couldn't play no more. I don't know what that was.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I didn't know 2011 even happened. I thought it went from 2010 to 2012. That was my thought.
Wow. So, I mean, hey, it's kind of similar to the Celtics played the Warriors in the finals. And I swear the Celtics had like a top 5 MVP candidate, and he had a really good playoff run, and something happened. I don't really know. That's kind of like Danny. You just get to a certain spot, and he doesn't perform. But otherwise, yeah, Danny. I'll take Danny on Monday against Charlotte on League Pass, but Thursday TNT, nah. But no. I had a pretty good comparison for your ACLs. Like, it's kind of like getting your car fixed. It's like, I don't got my car, but like, well, it's getting fixed. So, Chris, what's the summit of
6 months?
Yeah. So, Chris, what's the summit plummet?
Well, part summit. Happy Danny's getting surgery, and hope you have a speedy recovery, brother. And outside of that, my other summit I was thinking about before I heard that news. Yesterday, I had a men's league playoff game. It's the playoffs, right? We were up 8 with 2 minutes left. Generational collapse, by the way. Generational collapse. It was tied 52-52 with 6 seconds left. This story isn't about me, though. So my teammate saw me wide open on the wing. I'm talking about like waving hands, wide open. Like, I couldn't be more open. He decided to look me dead in my eyes. Ball fake, mind you, at like 4 steps behind 3-point line. Ball fake, step through and shoot it with one hand, and it went in off the glass. So then we won. So now we're moving on to the semifinals. So that is my summit, because that is just a show that even when you don't believe, somebody else believes. Because I didn't believe. I was gonna be mad. I was like, I think I'm gonna make it. But hey, he shut me up and he made it. Thank you for carrying us. I was in his backpack. Thank you. Summit.
Yeah,
you were not like Giannis. You didn't have his bag empty.
Oh yeah, like Giannis, the empty backpack.
I was the Thanasis, unfortunately, for Halloween.
Dressing up. What you got to do to dress up as Thanasis? Walk around in a Nike Tech.
Literally, walk around a Nike Tech and clap as hard as you can.
Yeah, just start yelling, doing anything. start taking money from people. He said, "My brother said I could." But so my summit is I ordered this like LED sign on TikTok Shop. Hopefully it's in. And then next week you'll see it like right there. It says on air, so it looks pretty dope, a little pretty like official, at least on my end. A little on air. My plummet though is too much in every sport, or at least NFL, NBA. It's too much ref talk. Like there's too much blaming the refs. Because here's my thing: you lost by double digits. Your team did not do enough to win the game. I don't care what the Zebras did. Second, a possession or so. Yeah, if you lost by a possession or so, you don't think you could look at your team and be like, y'all could have done something differently? Like, there's no other way you could look at the game. I don't know. That's just mind-boggling to me. Like, if you lose by one possession, your first instinct is refs. You should probably hold your team a little bit more accountable, me personally. But
probably tell somebody to wear a little smaller shoe or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But like, don't step out of bounds. Catch the ball or run your route into the end zone. I don't know, man. Like, and yeah, bringing up, Eagles Cowboys is basically what I was getting to. But all that said, we can get into NBA Weekly a little bit early because, the NBA is getting kicked off and the in-season tournament is in play. But there is no games today as we're recording this. Go vote. I didn't vote, so I'm a hypocrite. But I was at work all day. Don't blame me. I don't even know what we're voting for. I'm not going to lie. But
not even sure.
To preface the NBA Weekly, next week, me and Tone will be going live from the Sixers versus Celtics. Round 2. They
play not going live. We're
hey, doing a podcast at the game will be insane. Insane.
Yeah, you'll watch me get you'll watch me get a beer poured on my head because I'm gonna be wearing my Tatum jersey. But
first time ever Tony is seeing Tatum live.
Yeah, seeing the Celtics, any Celtics game live. I went to plenty of Sixers games. I've enjoyed myself. I've got to see some of my favorite players live. I've got to see 2016 Steph Curry in action. I've gotten to see Atlanta Hawks Al Horford. And I got to see
Marco Bellinelli.
I don't think I did. I don't think so. I don't think I ever went to a game when he was there. I got to see Robert Covington. I've gotten to see Isaiah Cannon, Ish Smith. I saw Spencer Hawes before. And then last year, when they played the Magic, I got to see Paulo play. That was awesome. He had an amazing game. I watched Bol be ass with my own eyes. But real life, NBA Weekly. Like I was saying before we were recording, Celtics Wolves was awesome. That was an awesome game. It was lead changes throughout the whole game, swings of momentum. And Edwards was in foul trouble, so they were using him sparingly. Rudy Gobert had a really good game, and he was brutal from the line. And Joe Mazzulla actually called a hack of Rudy, I guess, but Rudy played really well. I feel like a lot of him and Bam had pretty good nights, but Edwards and McDaniels made pretty good defensive plays on Tatum throughout the clutch. Not to say Tatum had a bad game by any measure, the dude at 32, but shout out the Wolves, like they're for real, and they finally understand. They've known for a couple of years, but now for real, Edwards is the key. You could almost say McDaniels is like the second guy on offense while being the main guy on defense. Edwards is bought in on defense. Karl Anthony Towns, get ready to learn Chinese because my hot take for that team, I think I like Naz Reid more for that team. Not that he's a better basketball player. That's ridiculous to say, but he's better for that basketball team. I think he fits better alongside his minutes with Rudy. I think he fits better with McDaniels and Edwards. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna let y'all know something. I've been talking about Naz Reid for about 6 years now. He went to high school with JQ, Javon Quinley in Jersey, and Javon Quinley's at Memphis now with Penny Hardaway. But Naz Reid he was literally the prototype center for what the NBA is going to now, like being able to be mobile and being able to play offense and defense in that way, to be able to set screens, be able to move, be able to play in the corner, play out the corner, play top of the key. Naz is that perfect guy. So I'm with you 100% on that take. I think, and also too, it works for if the Timberwolves are gonna play the two bigs. I think Nas, like you said, is a little better because he's just a little more mobile than Cat, and he's also a little more able to do things on defense. Not saying that Cat doesn't have the physical tool, he just doesn't do it. So I think Nas is perfect for him. And I think he's a better like pick and roll decision maker after he catches it, like able to either go make a bucket or make a pass. So yeah, I was happy you said that. I love Nas Reed. He's a great player.
I need to find. So a while ago, we would post like Summit standouts on Instagram. Cool little graphics we did, just who had good games across the league. I remember specifically, yes, on December 17th of last season, Nas Reed. We made this cool little graphic for Nas Reed. 28, 9-3 with 3 steals. But of course, yeah, the cover of that was LeBron. It was 37-year-old LeBron, or I guess he was 38 at this point, with a plus minus of plus 26. Nothing new this season, which I guess, Chris, you might as well talk about the Lakers. I mean, you might as well talk about how LeBron is in ultimate backpack mode already.
Let me just tell y'all, man, and let me tell everybody who's listening. This is the reason why I say LeBron's the GOAT. It's not because I don't like Michael Jordan. It's not because I don't think Michael Jordan's an elite player. I really do. It's just LeBron does something every year that we've never seen somebody do. Not just age stuff. It's just always something. There's never been a time in my life, your life, or anybody else's life where a 38-year-old player has been the best player on any team that's led them to that's like, supposed to lead them to a championship. Like even 37, like there's never been a guy doing that. So that's why I think LeBron is who he is. And also, too, the teams are built around LeBron. So he should be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Even that's just kind of how it works. But at the same time, for him to actually hold up, be able to do that, and to, knock on wood, hopefully stay relatively healthy and be able to do it for, a full season, it's just crazy to think about. And as much as I think the Lakers team fits, like just as a whole fits together, I think just need to gel more. And I think just need to get smooth out lineups. I think they'll be okay. I'm way more optimistic at the start of this season than I was last year, even with how them, having up and down games. And they've lost to good teams. Like, their beginning schedule has been good. So yeah, it's just, and like I said, I'm not as down on Lakers as everybody else. I think, I said, lineups and stuff matter. Being a basketball player, bro, I know I can go play AAU with somebody. It's going to take 4 to 5 weeks for us to get it together. These are grown men playing against other grown men who have schemes and everything built up. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time to figure out what pieces work, pieces don't work. So I'm excited about them. I don't think they've been disappointing so far. I think it's been just, it just is what it is. But yeah, I got pretty good high hopes for the Lakers.
I will say this. Last night I saw they were down, I think by 8 with like 2 minutes or something left, and I'm kind of like, nah, that thing's over with. And I go back and look at the box score, and it just looks like for the last 2 minutes of the game, they were, or no, not the last 2 minutes of the game, but leading that comeback to get within 1. They kind of just like forget everybody else. Austin Reeves and LeBron, we're going to play this 2-man game. We're going to get back in it. And that's kind of what the play-by-play like suggested. And then you get to like 2.5 minutes left in the game and no one scores for 2.5 minutes. So like, okay, whatever happened there. But yeah, I mean, the on and off numbers for LeBron, we're never going to get that passing of the torch, man. We're never going to get it. LeBron is always going to be better than Anthony Davis. He's always going to be the number 1 on his team. And that's for several reasons. 1, LeBron's a better basketball player. And 2, AD's just not reliable. And I'm not going to knock him. Maybe he's just out for this game and he's back. And I want him to be healthy. But even when he's healthy, he does not impact the game enough offensively when LeBron's not on the court to really take over the reins. He can't play make like LeBron.
Bingo.
That's why he can't, maybe in the bubble, but now he definitely can't shoot like LeBron. Not that LeBron is, this out-of-world shooter anyway. He's not as good of a go-to scorer as LeBron either.
You said that passing of the torch, they will never pass the torch. This reminds me, LeBron made the comparison that the Steelers are the Lakers, and guess what? It reminds me of Juju and AB. AB was never passing the torch to Juju.
Never.
Never.
Cook. And he shouldn't have had to, because not only was Antonio Brown better, and I don't think they were trying to force it that way. I just think Antonio Brown has CTE. Hopefully LeBron doesn't have that. But that's also a good comparison, though. Or you could say, well, Big Ben never played with Kenny Pickett, but like that was another thing. Big Ben mentor a younger guy, but not that young. I mean, AD was a vet by the time he got to LeBron, but I do like that comparison though. Like but I would say AB was like in the fat thick of his prime by the time Juju got there, so it was kind of like I don't know. But yeah, the fact he said the Lakers and the Steelers is genuinely hilarious because like LeBron low-key knows ball now. But you want to talk about? I mean, I talked about my team. Well, I didn't really talk about my team. I kind of talked about the Wolves, but we talked about Lakers. Danny, I mean, we might as well talk about Sixers as well. You might as well.
Five straight. They're going 5 straight going to this game against the Celtics on Wednesday. Nick Nurse has found a rhythm. I mean, 5 straight. The game that they lost was because Damian Lillard went absolutely nuclear in the fourth quarter. Don't blame him. It was a crazy game. The Sixers seem to have found a new rhythm, and they're a different team than they were in the past. And it all starts with Tyrese Maxey. Last game, he had 11 assists, 0 turnovers. If you're getting that from Tyrese Maxey, and with him dropping 25 points a game, there's not many teams that are going to beat the team.
Yeah, I would agree. And I was talking with somebody about the success that their team is having because it's not only Joel and Maxey, it's their wing play as well. Tobias Harris, I've always been a voucher for Tobias Harris. I think he's the most efficient scoring role player in the NBA besides like Michael Porter Jr. But what he provides that Michael Porter doesn't, Tobias tries on defense. Not that he's phenomenal or anything, but he does give effort. Same thing with Kelly Oubre. Gives effort on the other end. Can honestly get a bucket at will. And he reminds me, majority of this because he's left-handed, reminds me a lot of Michael Beasley. And like 6'8", 6'9", can get to whatever side, can get to a bucket. Don't get it twisted though. Michael Beasley will bust his ass.
One of them ones. He them ones. He said
Michael Beasley was one of them. What? Come on, man. He was whooping LeBron in Miami, bro. Come on.
And on top of that, I want to show some love to Danny and the Sixers too. I'm a big D'Anthony Melton fan, and the Harden departure let him be who he was. And another person, I like Shake Milton too, but I thought Melton was better for the Sixers than Milton was as far as what they needed, and especially next to Maxey, it really allows Maxey because Maxey actually a solid defender, like especially point of attack and on ball.
Yeah,
Maxey's more than solid, but Melton's like your guard who can legitimately lock people. Like he reminds me of
he's guarding Tatum every night. He's guarding Paul.
He reminds me of Derek White, like not necessarily as good on defense, but 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", but guards bigger guys. And D'Anthony Melton's he's pretty solid on offense too. He can make open shots. He can play make as a second, third playmaker. I really like Melton. I like the fact that he's playing more with the departures that you guys have had. So I think the Sixers, like Max is one of those small guards that you don't necessarily need a big guard next to him, but you just need somebody who can also defend bigger wings. And I think the Sixers have that. So I don't think they need to trade for a star. I think they could, but I think they can kind of roll and maybe get like a pseudo second star, like 2.5, like a Siakam. I think he'd be perfect, maybe if they were to go that route. But other than that, I think I like what they have right now.
Yeah, what they have right now is something that people really haven't expected. I think Nick Nurse is putting players in the position to win, where Doc Rivers was trying to force Tobias Harris to be a 3-point shooter. He was trying to force PJ Tucker to just be some phenomenal corner three shooter when he could make that probably 35% of the time if he was lucky.
One thing I like about Nick Nurse that you mentioned, because I mean, offensively, the fact that they're even doing what they're doing it's amazing because everyone knows Nick Nurse is not the one to really draw up this phenomenal half court offense, but defensively, not only is he one of the best defensive coaches in the NBA, he's up there, him, Frank Vogel, Taylor Jenkins, all these nice defensive coaches. Nick Nurse now has a unit of guys who are willing to defend and can defend. So you have Maxey, who I agree, a very underrated defender. It got to a point in that Celtics-Sixer series, Tatum was switching off of Maxey to get to Melton or get to someone else, but he's been doing really well. Tobias, I've always think is a solid, willing defender. Kelly Oubre's bought in, and mind you, on a veteran minimum, which is unreal. Can't believe that him and Christian Wood signed for those at this point. But
biggest steal of free agency by far. I don't know why the Mavs did not put an offer in because now they're suffering, needing the Kelly Oubre. That was the steal of free agency.
It's so hilarious that the forward position can be played by a guy like Kelly Oubre, and can also be played by a guy like Grant Williams. Those two, they would get completely different numbers at the club, to say the least. But yeah, I like what the Sixers. I think all our teams are pretty pretty well. I mean,
Yep.
Celtics got their first loss, but Tatum dropped 30. Who cares?
My fantasy team, so I'm with it.
MVP case building. We're good. We're good, man.
Yo, one thing for the Mavs I'll mention, Derrick Jones Jr. is going to be a vital piece for them defensively moving forward.
Trust,
Yeah.
and that has nothing to do with the fact he went to our middle school. We think he actually balls, which he does. For a while,
Exactly.
he was in and out of the G League, and now he's got a real spot in the NBA. Man, we're proud.
Yeah, he's legitimately like Derrick Jones. Legitimately is that long rangey defender that you need, and he's so bouncy. Like even if he's not on shooting, with the way Luka plays and the way that the Mavs are playing this year, he can just play rim runner and play roller and play dunker spot on offense and just space to the corner, literally.
Derrick Jones is like a 6'8" Wemby.
Yeah, he got bounced though. And I think Wemby is a better shooter, but
Probably.
yo, who's nice for the Mavericks though? No, who real nice?
Jaden Hardy told y'all.
Jaden Hardy too. I was gonna say Derek Lively though, because he's the only one who came through. I had 3 rookies set up to get double doubles. Asar gets only 9 boards. Wemby only gets 9 boards. Derek Lively, his first double double it's monstrous.
Guess where he went to school at?
He was plus 1,000.
Guess where he went to school at?
Derek Lively? What, high school?
He went to Westtown.
I don't know what that is.
Him, Mo Bamba, and Cam Reddish all went to Westtown out in Westchester.
Oh.
I know the name of that school.
I know Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish, a PA guy, so we always gonna mess with Cam, but like same time now he's on the low, on the high, on the low. But anything else you want to talk about from the NBA? Want to talk any play-in tournament or?
I want to say one thing about the tournament.
Go ahead.
I think it's kind of fire. I was a little skeptical at first. I was like, it's kind of weird. But after the first day, I saw teams were kind of taking it serious. I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. Like it was, and I'm also a fan of courts. I know a lot of people don't like them. I think they're kind of cool. Like a couple of them, couple are egregious, but a couple are pretty cool. Like I like that, and I just like that the fact that NBA is trying to compete with football, like until football's over. Like I can respect the effort. Honestly, I can respect it, even if it doesn't work. I can respect it, and it's giving them something to play for. And also, I was watching Michael Bridges talk about in-season tournament. He was like, just to kind of dumb it down, like basically a lot of the players are playing for the bench players, like to make sure they get that extra 1,500,000, 100K like bonus that comes with the.
That's fire.
So I think that's lit.
That's something I didn't even like kind of think of. I'm kind of like, all right, that extra money bonus. Like, hopefully we get to a point where like the NBA Cup, which is the trophy, hopefully one day we get to somewhere like that means something to somebody. But but playing for the guy next to you, like quite literally, I never even thought about it that way. That's awesome from Mikhail. Some of the quotes are out of wonk, but my favorite quote was from Dame where they win the game and he's like, they're asking him like, is something different? He was like, yeah, something different, but like, I don't even know. Like it's different, but like it's not a playoff game, but the air is different.
That boy Bones said, "Yeah, I don't even know. I just saw we had a game. I saw a championship, trophy by it." So,
Bones is from Delaware. He's dumb as hell. He's dumb as Tyrese Maxey variant. You got anything else? NBA. I mean, I would say the Celtics haven't played an in-season tournament game yet, so they'll be playing Friday, I believe. Their group is like Magic, Hawks, Bulls, and it's a real easy group, but they're going 0-2 against the Magic, so it doesn't really matter.
And I was gonna say too. I was gonna ask you about the in-season tournament. Like, do y'all have a favorite jersey y'all seen so far? Like,
I like the Celtics jersey a lot. I like it has like parquet on the side, like it looks like the floor. I like theirs. Man, if Indy just used their normal blue, I would have liked it so much. Really would have. I love the graffiti, but like,
I was about to say that.
Why did you use that blue? That's horrible.
Yeah, I thought it was lit until I saw the blue, and it made the court look trash because the court was too blue. I was like, I don't know, but yeah, I like the Raptors one. I don't think they've worn it yet, but I like how it looks. That gold with the black, it looks like kind of like lightning stripes almost. It's kind of
they've been doing that one for a while because like Drake. Drake brought the OVO jerseys out and whatnot. For sure. I'm trying to find a picture of all of them from this year, but maybe lagging behind and be showing. You know who is a pretty good one? The Suns, because they can't really mess it up. They just have El Valley on it. It's purple, gradient numbers. It ain't too bad. the Knicks would have hit home with the black stripe on the side, but they made the lettering like weird. Like I didn't like it. Jazz kind of just stuck with their throwback jersey, just modernized it a little bit. Looks good. Bucks is whatever.
I like the Wizards.
What is the Wizards?
I thought it was kind of cool too. I thought it was cool.
I can't think of the Wizards jersey right now. Oh, the District. I kind of like it. It gives off some Harry Potter vibes. I kind of like it. It's not bad.
It's one of the better ones that they had.
Oh,
for sure.
definitely. The Nets. I think the Nets jersey is horrible. Golden State's is horrible.
Contextually, the Sixers jersey is actually decent.
Compared to everyone else, yes, it's a fine jersey.
It's just the Nuggets
it's
have the
plain-
worst one by far. The altitude
Yeah.
on there sucks.
That's
That
horrible.
sucks.
I
That
can't
sucks.
believe you win a championship and you go on an all-time marketing losing streak.
Like that, and then the Lakers is second worst. That like little like half like
Triangle.
that is garbage. That is so
That's
trash.
garbage. It doesn't matter. I think we can all agree. You know what else I like? I like the Spurs one. It's kind of like some old.
It's so fire to me.
But
that's
the worst
fucking
one,
fire.
no, the worst one is Heat culture. That's horrible.
It's up there with Denver. They're close because I think Denver was just so lazy. It looks like their old city jersey from 2 years ago, just with the altitude. I hate that. I really
Yeah,
do.
yeah. All right. Well, we can get into. Oh, apologies. Give me one moment because I need to type up the slide. But we are in a second going to get into Midseason Awards. Of course, I didn't type it up. Okay. And all right. Sorry about that. Okay. So, Midseason Awards. Is there anyone that y'all can think of that's like a gimme that like we really don't have to talk about? Because I feel like there's at least a race for all of these, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a race for all of them. I'll make a case that CJ Stroud probably has the Offensive Rookie of the Year kind of gimme up.
Right now, yeah.
Right
It's
now.
not a gimme. It's not a gimme. Puka is historic.
Ooh.
I would say Stroud's the favorite. Yeah, I would agree on that. I don't know if it's gimme though.
I just think
Do you want to do we just want to start
15-1.
with Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah,
We'll start with offensive. We'll start with the Rookies of the Year, and we'll end it off.
Start with offense.
We'll start with Rookies of the Year, and then we'll move to Offense, Defensive Player of the Year, and then MVP.
Why would no?
So-
I didn't. I just wanted to start with Offensive Rookie of the Year just because we're there, because we're already talking about it.
But yeah, Offensive
Whatever.
Rookie of the
We'll
Year.
just start with it.
My case starts with CJ Stroud. I think this award always goes to like the best offensive player. In the past, it's been Herbert. It's been Dak when Zeke was on his team and probably had better stats than Zach. I think this is CJ Stroud's award to run away with. He has been phenomenal. This past week made him probably the best quarterback out of this class. He's already passed Kenny Pickett in passing touchdowns in his career so far.
Ain't hard to do.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
CJ Stroud looks the part. He is the part. And I wouldn't say the Panthers messed up drafting Bryce Young, but I would just say that like the Texans, what they got going with their head coach is something special. And I think they could be a legit contender in this AFC in the next 2 years.
Yeah. I'm gonna go CJ Stroud as well. Chris, you going CJ Stroud? Okay, so now that Danny kind of got his case out the way, 14 touchdowns, 1 pick. I'm going to present y'all with a question. Who is the best quarterback that CJ Stroud is better than? Because outside of like my top 7 guys, I think it's up to debate with anybody at this point. He's playing super efficient football. He's not turning the ball over. He's being aggressive. No moment is too bright for him, at least yet. And he's clearly been the guy. Like they really hit, the nail on the head. So yeah, who is the best quarterback that CJ Stroud is better than?
Is it Jared Goff?
Jared Goff. Jared Goff's top 10-ish, around that range. I think Stroud's better. I think Stroud's better. I really do. I think he is more complete than Goff. He can maneuver outside the pocket. He can use his legs to make plays.
Yep.
He can be a playmaker.
You give him
That's all I'm
Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
So he's making it work with Tank Dell, baller, but
And I like
he's
Tank,
making
yeah.
it work with Tank Dell. Dalton Schultz had an awesome game. Noah Brown had an awesome game. I do believe this is a better group than what's going on in over Carolina,
Yep.
but these guys aren't like elite guys. Like
I wouldn't say they're better than the
flashes
Vikings
were
group.
there for Nico Collins, but
It's kind of funny. I saw a stat. The 4 leading receivers used to all be Cowboys.
yes, it was CD, Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz, and who are we missing?
Dang, that's cool. I didn't know that.
I don't
Amari
know the other
Cooper.
guy.
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. Yeah, it was Amari Cooper. Yeah. All those weapons that Dak had and did nothing with it.
Trash can.
Yep.
He's better than
anyway.
Dak too, by the way. He's better than Dak.
I didn't even want to say that. I thought that was just like a gimme, so I was just go past it. Please.
Here, we'll do this. We'll do it a little take the skyline style. This quarterback or CJ Stroud. I'm not going to mention any of the top 7 guys, which, by the way, my top 7 guys are Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Hurts, Lamar, Lawrence. No order.
Add one more. We're not putting Rodgers in there. Rodgers is better than him.
Says who? Based off what we last saw from Rodgers?
Oh,
His last year in Green Bay, not better than Stroud. So I will leave it out because he is injured out of respect for him. But top 7 guys are my top 7 guys with Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Hurts, Lamar, and Lawrence. I believe those guys are the top 7, cream of the crop. And besides Mahomes, those other 6, any given week, those guys can be quarterback too. Okay, so let's start. CJ Stroud or Tua Tagovailoa?
Tua. I'm taking Tua for now.
Yeah, Tua.
Taking Tua? Okay. I'm going CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud or Jared Goff?
Tua.
Stroud.
I mean, I said that Tua. That's not even an option. CJ Stroud.
I'm taking Stroud.
Yep. Both taking Stroud? Okay. I'll go Stroud as well. CJ Stroud or Geno Smith?
Stroud immediately. I like
Geno
Geno.
right back yet?
Stroud. He wrote back.
He did. So CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I'm going Stroud.
You gave him a pin in the ball to right back, by the way.
Okay. Try to get
Back in the
into
mail.
at least
He mailed it.
he mailed it. Oh my god. Okay. I would say I want to say Murray, but I want to let Murray play. I want to let him breathe first. Trying to think of some.
I got one. CJ Stroud or Matthew Stafford?
Oh, CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud. Here, just so I can get both of y'all opinions on this. CJ Stroud or Dak Prescott?
Stroud. I think Dak is a good game manager at this point of his career.
Yeah. Dak Prescott is an elite backup quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Elite. Like if Dak is your backup, like you're in good shape. So I'm taking the starting quarterback over Dak Prescott.
Oh, he's so brutal.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this.
I'm taking no shorts. I'm hating on him.
Dak Prescott or Carson Wentz of the Rams?
Yo, Rams Carson Wentz, Rams legend Carson Wentz. Shay, there's not really quarterback play has not been good this year. I'll say that.
Not been elite, I'll tell you that. And I was surely wrong about my MVP, not MVP prediction. I think I said I could see a Justin Fields MVP thing.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
JK.
Yeah, no.
I got a good one for you. Ready? Former Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson or CJ Stroud?
That's not good. It's Stroud. There's no question.
Oh, but Texans Watson. I mean, he was something.
He don't exist. That dude's not real. It didn't happen. 2017 Wentz didn't happen. 2018 Goff didn't happen. All those are fake.
There's a slimmer of hope that like I rewatched like that Clemson team and I'm like Deshaun Watson's in there somewhere, right?
Dog, those Clemson teams were baller. It's just he's a freak. Okay, so we all agree. We just went on a little tangent that CJ Stroud is him and he's top 10. I'm standing on that for sure right now. I think he's one of the most complete quarterbacks in the game. He can use his legs, good pocket presence, can read a defense. He plays football. He don't take tests. He can throw on the run. He can maneuver the pocket really well.
I
Sorry,
saw
had to let the
something
dogs
last year. It said the Eagles should trade Jalen Hurts for CJ Stroud because he's cheaper.
out. Yo,
Like in the draft. That's what I saw pre-draft. And I was like, that's wild.
okay. Let's trade Mahomes. Let's trade Mahomes for Bryce Young because he's cheaper. But okay, we can get into defensive rookie of the year. I would say it's kind of a two-man race right now between Devin
Spoon and
Witherspoon
Carter.
and Jalen Carter. Yeah, all of us had Jalen Carter as our preseason picks. By the way, for our offensive rookie of the year picks, Chris had Bryce Young, Danny had Bijan, I had
Bijan.
AR5.
The Falcons hate Bijan Robinson, and I want people to understand that they hate him for some
It's
reason.
so
I don't know
bad.
why draft
Yeah.
him. Why draft him?
Yeah,
They hated Kyle Pitts. They hate Bijan.
they
They're gonna
hate
be free
generational
soon.
talent. Get them away from Caleb Williams immediately. They're gonna find a way to line that man up at tight end and make him block. They're gonna do some sicko stuff.
Don't
Okay.
trip. Felipe Franks is tight end on that team for a minute.
Trust, bro. Felipe Franks is an elite athlete. So, defensive rookie of the year. Are we all going to stick with Carter, or do we want to go Witherspoon? It's kind of like
That's my
Witherspoon
choice.
has had some pretty good impact, I would say. Not so much last game, but not really his fault. But Carter,
Yeah,
on the
that's
other
my
hand,
pick.
Carter's been the best defensive player on the Eagles, like entirely. Like he is providing that middle pressure that we thought we were going to miss when Javon Hargrave left. He came up with a big pressure on Dak late in the game that led to Josh Sweat getting the sack, and then he came in, cleaned it up. I'm gonna go Carter. I'm gonna stick with my preseason pick. Do y'all have any Witherspoon love, or
Nope.
just we gonna stick with Carter?
I wish
I like
Gonzalez
everyone-
was healthy.
I do too. I like Witherspoon a lot, but I
So
think
do I.
Jalen Carter on this defense is playing phenomenal. He's kind of the X factor. And you're looking at what the impact level they're bringing. They're both bringing a lot, but I like Carter snug it up that middle.
Yeah, and I do want to give credit. I do want to shout out Christian Gonzalez. He was phenomenal when he was healthy. He was doing really, really good and had some real competition with Carter. But unfortunately, things happen. But yeah, we're all gonna go Carter here. Nothing too
You know what this
crazy.
reminds me of?
What?
Very, very much reminds me of Patrick Surtain and J.C. Horn got drafted back-to-back draft picks in their draft.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
And
Okay, I remember that.
Devin Witherspoon and your boy, Christian Gonzalez. I mean, they were consensus 1A, 1B in the draft.
Mhm.
And it's kind of funny because Horn got hurt his rookie year, and then he kind of I think J.C. Horn's still one of the really, really good corners in the NFL.
I believe so.
And
Yeah,
it's-
when healthy at least.
And then Witherspoon is still playing, like he's healthy, and Surtain is. I think it's very comparable to that draft.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from there. If Derek Stingley actually got to play how he should have his rookie year, then we could talk about him and Sauce that way. But we can move on to do what Danny said. We can move on to the players of the year. We can start with offense though. I had Travis Kelce for my offensive player of the year. Obviously not turning out, but if Taylor Swift was at all his games, there would be a conversation. Danny originally chose Nick Chubb, but he got hurt, and then he changed it to Justin Jefferson, who also got hurt. So
It's not fair.
He's got to flat out
Not
change his
fair.
pick. And then Chris had Jamar Chase. So for our offensive player of the year, I feel like we're all going.
have a new
going
pick.
the same guy, but yeah, we're all gonna have a new pick, absolutely. But my offensive player of the year is gonna be Tua. If the man can't win MVP, I'm gonna pick him to win offensive player of the year. Hit 1K in like 8 weeks. Is the wide receiver who is an engine of an offense there in Miami, and they go
Tyreek?
as it goes. Tyreek Hill.
You said Tua.
Now let me start over because
That's my fault. I had you thinking too because I messed it up.
All right, so for offensive player of the year, I'm going Tyreek Hill. I mean, if he can't win MVP, give him offensive player of the year. He's a wide receiver who is an offensive engine for that team. They go as he goes. I mean, even in doubt, like even if Tua can't get anything going downfield, get it out to Hill in space and he'll make something happen. He's legitimately won this Dolphins team many games. He kept he had some pretty crucial drops in the Chiefs game, but he's still he had a pretty overall good game. I would say he'd be my offensive player of the year.
Yeah, my offensive player of the year is none other than Eagles legend AJ Brown. What he has done for this offense is phenomenal. Nothing shy of phenomenal. He is game breaking. Jalen Hurts puts it up, and I feel like people are kind of disrespecting Hurts. They're like, "Oh, you have AJ Brown." No, AJ Brown is getting open, but Hurts is throwing some pearly balls.
Yeah,
Like these are really, really good balls that Hurts is sending out there to AJ Brown, and he's receiving them. So
that's okay. All right, man. You okay. Thanks for the AJ Brown love. We'll move on. Chris, who's your offensive player of the year?
I'm trying to stop laughing because I saw where he was going with at the first time he said it. I was trying to keep my composure. What you got? Oh yeah, I'm going Tyreek Hill too. And it's really the same reason. If you can't give him MVP because wide receivers don't win MVP, he has to get the next best award. I think he's just been the guy. Like overall, him and AJ Brown have been the guy. So I think I wouldn't be mad at a co-offensive player of the year if it ended today because they both been that good. But yeah, I go with Tyreek Hill though. That's my pick.
Yeah, well, we're all kind of. This is why I thought we'd all go in this direction. Defensive player of the year. I had Micah Parsons. Danny had T.J. Watt. Chris had Sauce Gardner. The Sauce Gardner one was always a long shot because corners just don't get love like that. But Danny, you can go ahead because I feel like you're probably closest. You probably hit the mark closest.
Yep.
actually, Micah Parsons, T.J. Watt, and none other than your boy in Cleveland, Myles Garrett, all are about tied in the odds race to win Defensive Player of the Year. They're all putting up phenomenal seasons so far. TJ and Myles Garrett both have 9.5 sacks. Michael Parsons is that X factor of man. He's had a sack, at least a sack in each of his last 3 games, 1.5 in the Eagles game. His pressure rate is phenomenal. I think you could give any of those 3 edge rushers, you could give it to. It's going to come down to these next 8 weeks to see really what happens. TJ, like Chris says every week, TJ Watt is an unreal human being, and that's why the Steelers are 12-5 in their last 17 games.
Yeah, I mean, Micah Parsons is he's a little polar bear in Arlington, Texas for me personally. I kind of think this is a 2-man race between TJ Watt and Myles Garrett, and I think I'm going to lean Myles Garrett a little bit to go, I think, 2-1 with PJ Walker as your starting quarterback. That's insane, man. He has single-handedly won this team games. I mean, TJ Watt is a fine pick. That's entirely fine. And usually when things come down to the wire with 2 guys and one of them's already won one, they're probably going to lean to the guy that hasn't gotten one yet, which it's insane how Myles Garrett doesn't have one, but every year something happens. I would go Myles Garrett at this point, but TJ Watt is just as good of a pick. I don't feel confident enough in Parsons to match their level for the rest of the season to stick with my preseason pick, so it's a little cowardly, but I'm going Myles Garrett.
Well, I guess I got to spoil the party. Don't call me a home teamer, but my defensive player of the year pick is Roquan Smith so far. And I'll tell you why. It's been a lot of injuries on the Ravens defense. Marlon's back healthy now. We got Marcus Williams back now. But it's been a little makeshift of a secondary at points. And one thing you can count on as a constant has been Roquan Smith. And I think that the Ravens have had a pretty elite defense this year, all things considered, like close to elite as you can be. And I think it's all because of Roquan keeping everything together. And Justin Madubuike too. He should be an offseason priority. He's been great as well. But yeah, I think Roquan will be my pick just because I think the Ravens are going to end with a really good record. And I think if, a lot of that's going to be because of the defense, like holding people to 3 and 6 points, like back-to-back weeks and stuff like that. Like that's just elite defense in my opinion, playing really well. And I think that whole reason is because of Roquan Smith. And I know it's a long shot. It'll probably be Watt. In my opinion, I think Watt will probably get the award, but my pick would be Roquan Smith.
I wanted to say before the Niners 3-game losing streak, I really wanted to say Fred Warner. I really, really wanted to say Fred Warner. He is unreal, man. He is a safety trap in a linebacker's body with linebacker instincts. He could just do it all. But
His lateral speed is crazy, dude. For everyone,
exactly. Like he's in a tier of his own. But I like the Roquan pick because it reminded me, like, can a middle linebacker still really win this thing? With kind of just being the running back of defense now. But
was the last middle linebacker to win it Ray Lewis?
Danny, who was the last middle linebacker to win Defensive Player of the Year? Was it Luke Kuechly?
It was Luke.
I don't think Kuechly probably. I think it was Kuechly.
Okay,
that sounds right.
Yeah,
that sounds right. Because the last couple have just been defensive tackles, and Stephon Gilmore won it that one year, which is whatever. But okay. So you two your one's going. We're staying in the AFC North. That's what we doing. Who is currently the best division in football? Everybody in the playoffs.
Well, yo, Kuechly never won it.
What?
No, Kuechly won in 2013. I lied.
Okay,
it was Kuechly, and before that, it was 2005. There's one other person before Ray Lewis to win it. Can you guess who it is?
2005. Wait, 2005. Yep. Ray Lewis won it, or this other person won it?
Other person won it in 2005.
Ray Lewis won in 04, right?
Was it Brian Urlacher?
There it is. Bingo.
I'm about to say, now that's one Chicago Bear I would never hate on. Him and Devin.
Super underrated 2000s, 2010s linebacker. London Fletcher, man. He was a dog. He was so
Lance
good.
Briggs, too. I like Lance Briggs a lot.
Yes.
Linebacker.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I saw someone do a grid trivia with London Fletcher the other day. Pretty funny.
Well, that's lit.
That's tough. That's tough. I like London Fletcher, man. He's really good. He would always get drafted to my unfair Madden teams to play alongside Ray and Urlacher.
Chris, so one thing to note about the Ravens, Roquan Smith, you need him to step up for the last 7 games of the season. They got the Browns, Bengals, Chargers, ignore the Rams, Jags, Niners, Dolphins, and Steelers. They got a hard schedule remaining.
And you talk about the Eagles gauntlet.
That was halfway my reason, Danny, as to my Defensive Player of the Year pick. Because if they can come out of that stretch with that 7 games, 5-2? Or that 7 games, I think that if they can come out of that stretch 5-2, I think the defense will be a huge part of it, and I think that would be my case for Roquan. Oh yeah, so I think they can come out.
I'm very excited to see them play the Niners because from I said a couple episodes ago, Purdy does not look good against guys who can throw some stuff at you. And how's Purdy gonna act when Kyle Hamilton coming off the edge, or he gonna drop back, or I'm interested to see. But yeah, the Eagles and Niners the Eagles and Ravens got some gauntlets coming up. And then, their gauntlet is going to finish when they link up in February, Troz. But
yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to have to mediate a debate if y'all meet at the Super Bowl because I don't got faith in Kenny Pickett.
Nah, I'm jinxing it. Lamar masterclass, Jalen Hurts stinker, AJ Brown locked up by Humphrey. I'm pulling out all the jinx. I'm pulling out devil magic. I can't watch them lose again. I can't do it.
Don't you worry, because I got reverse magic for you. Don't worry about it. You said what? Kenneth Gainwell breakout games the Super Bowl?
No.
My devil magic will supersede all of yours for my hots and locks.
Yeah. Oh no, Lamar got left. He got left at the airport. No.
Oh no.
Who did that? Who canceled his flight?
Marcus Mariota suiting up for the Eagles? Oh, wow.
I will say, though, if we get a Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts Super Bowl, there's a certain demographic that will be very upset. Very upset. Not us, though. We going to be hyped. But we might as well move into MVP. Danny, you want to get us started on MVP?
My MVP is a quarterback, the only quarterback who has 8-1 in the NFL, the only quarterback who has been in the NFL the last 27 weeks has had the best record in the NFL. Jalen Hurts. He's all the hate aside. Oh, tush push, whatever. This, that, and the other. Jalen Hurts, when they gets thrown into the fire, comes out of the smoke. He comes out the other end, and he just keeps going. He gets his knee hurt. I'll do anything for the city of Philadelphia. This man is a proven tough leader, and sometimes the stats don't tell a full story because he manages this team and he takes care of the team. You're talking about value. Value isn't just stats. It's about how you manage a group of men, and he has it.
Yeah, I might as well piggyback off of it. Before the season, I said Jalen Hurts would win the MVP, and I'm sticking with it. 8-1. I'm just going to read off because the stats don't tell the full story. Here's how good he's been, though. 68.9 completion percentage. He has over 2,300 yards. He has over 800 yards in the last 3 weeks. 15 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's thrown 8 touchdowns and 1 pick in the last 3 weeks. Rushing wise, not where he's on track to do what he's done last season, but you can tell it's a little different. 316 yards, 7 touchdowns. So we're looking at 22 total touchdowns to 10 turnovers. And that's what I like with mobile quarterbacks. I like to do the total touchdowns to the total turnovers. 22 to 10, that's pretty good to me. Not only that, stats will back up. He's been one of the best pocket passers in the NFL last year. Eye test will tell you he's been one of the best pocket passers in the NFL this season. He's been phenomenal. He's been everything that he is advertised to do.
I don't know if you saw, there's a stat, I forget the stat. Jalen Hurts, when playing from behind, has some like elite statistics. When he's playing with the lead, he's actually not that good. But when he's playing from behind, he's out of this world, which is what you want from a quarterback.
Exactly. I mean, I love this line that Mark Jones used with Jason Tatum last year. Jalen Hurts, not always there when you call, but always on time. I mean, if they're going to be down, he's going to show up. If anybody going to show up, it's going to be him. On one knee, delivered a huge win against the Cowboys, huge win against the Dolphins, shot it out with Sam Howell and the Commanders twice. And he is now a record or tied record, 12 straight wins against winning teams. He has I would say it's that, or I think it's 12 straight wins when trailing by double digits. It's something like that. He's ridiculous. When he is down, he is not out. Now Chris's preseason pick was a good one. It was Lamar Jackson. I have a feeling someone's sticking to his guns.
I just had to do my little eyebrow raise. I think I was right. And I'm sticking with my boy Lamar. And that's the only thing I think what'll hurt him. His individual stats aren't crazy right now. In Lamar standard, they aren't crazy. So I think that could hurt him when it comes to MVP. So Jalen Hurts is a good pick. But outside of being a homer G, I think really I'm staying with Lamar because this is the best I've seen him. And it's the least he's had to do. And that may sound crazy, but this is the best I've seen him. He's commanding his offense like no other. Like as far as the weapons we have, which I think are good now, this is a brand new offense. It does not look brand new most Sundays that we watch the Ravens. It looks like they've been recently that they figured it out. And I think it's because of Lamar being dynamic. Him not having to run as much saves him throughout the game. So when he does run, it's even more potent to that offense and it's even more scary to the defense. So like I said, I think this is the best version of Lamar, and he already has an MVP. So I'm staying with my pick. I hope. Not hope, but I think his stats will kind of raise up. I think the games that are coming up, like Danny mentioned, I think it calls for him to, be a little more Superman-ish. So like I said, if they can go 6-2 through that stretch, or even 5-3 with them being 7-2 now, I think it's a chance he can get that MVP.
Yeah, I would say the same thing with Jalen Hurts. My bad, just real quick. With the Eagles have Chiefs, Bills, Niners, Cowboys, Seahawks coming up, and the first Cowboys game was a part of that gauntlet. But these next 5 games, Jalen walks out of that 4-1, and he's putting up amazing numbers. He might have it wrapped up because the last 3 weeks he plays Giants, Cardinals, Giants.
He might not have to play them, though. That's the problem.
He might not have to. But
I
will say, if the man sits with if he does sit with 3 weeks left, I ain't mad at him. If that's the case and he doesn't win it off of that, I'll live. But there's also, they'll probably have the 1 seed locked up. You don't want to go a whole month without playing football. That's kind of like some college stuff. I don't know. Maybe they'll do maybe they'll treat those last 3 weeks maybe like some preseason. Maybe it's possible. Yeah. I also think that maybe Marcus Mariota could beat those teams as well. But
yeah, I agree.
Maybe I don't know.
Did
you have another MVP? Go ahead.
No, so I don't have another MVP, but
because we just have Coach of the Year left.
Lamar, he is really pivotal in this team, and it really matters. It comes down to if Lamar is healthy, because Lamar's had this opportunity where he's 6-2 in the past. He gets hurt, and then the Ravens finish out 4-4. Because we know Huntley, he's okay, but
Yep.
Threw a
he's not.
dime to Odell though.
Hey, shout out my
did
boy
that.
Snoop.
Big Snoop.
He did.
That's Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley to you. How many Pro Bowls does Kenny Pickett have? Yo, Tyler Huntley has more Pro Bowl appearances than Jalen Hurts. More Pro Bowl appearances than I think Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's never played in a Pro Bowl. I don't think he does.
Boy, it's crazy.
There is no Pro Bowl though, but like whatever. Yeah. All right. So I mean, we have Coach of the Year left. I picked Matt LaFleur. That's not looking good. Chris said Ron Rivera, which isn't honestly the worst thing ever. I think they're sitting at 4-4. That ain't bad. I think they're like in the mix for a playoff spot. I don't think that's a bad pick. I think Danny has the best pick though. Danny's got D'Amico Ryans, and yeah, they're also 4-4.
Yep, that's a difference.
God damn, man, he's changed everything about Houston. I love that pick. Danny, you going to stick with that, or did you have a different guy in mind?
I'm sticking with it, but I'm going to do my shout out to Mike T. Mike T has always dragged the Steelers into somehow playoff contention every single fucking year, and he deserves praise for it because he has never won a Coach of the Year award. He deserves some praise for it.
What? That's like Drew Brees not getting an MVP. That's ridiculous.
That's crazy. I did not know that. That is unreal.
I don't think he's won one. Let me check.
He might that sounds
one day ago. Mike Tomlin has never won Coach of the Year. I didn't even know this. I was just going off vibe. I was going off vibe. Because I believe you know the media hates him.
Yeah,
I don't know what
shout out Mike T. Shout out Mike T. He definitely deserves some love, but I think D'Amico Ryans might have him beat just by a little bit so far.
You know what's weird?
Just them two.
So what's really weird about Mike Tomlin that what he does, he's like been around so long as a young head coach that like he's like a veteran, but like he's like 45, and like he like people are like, oh, like he doesn't like Andy Reid and like shit, like McVay aren't going to get Coach of the Year because they're just coaches. Like I feel like Tomlin's not going to win Coach of the Year because of that, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like what was it? It was what's Jalen Green in year 3, and they were like, because that team is so young, it's like you get drafted to the Rockets and Jalen Green's your vet. Like,
literally.
But now Tomlin's young, but he's been around the game, man. He's been doing this for a long time. Def deserves some love. But you're
I'll stand on D'Amico. I'll stand on D'Amico. I called it. I said he was going to bring over his defense, his mentality over to that Houston defense. And I said last year, this Houston defense was keeping them close in a lot of games. And it's kind of why they fell to the second pick, because Lovie Smith won them that last game. And then there was controversy. Why did you win the game when you could have got first overall pick? They got their guy either way. It doesn't matter. They got CJ Stroud.
It doesn't matter. And Will Anderson has been good as well. I mean, he hasn't been like, overly amazing like Carter or Witherspoon, but he's playing good. They're playing solid defense over there. Not necessarily last game, but Chris, who are you leaning towards for Coach of the Year? You had Ron Rivera, and that's a fine pick in my opinion if they can get into the playoffs, but wanted to know if you were changing it up.
Yeah, I'm changing it up. I'm going with D'Amico Ryans too, because, like you said, that 4-4 looks a little different for the Texans, especially with they coming out from under Weirdo Watson doing weirdo shit in wherever he was doing it. So coming from up under that and being like a respectable team, like I think that means something. I know you have Will Anderson, you have CJ Stroud, like you have rookies that are your building blocks now, but that team is playing good football. They could easily be not 4-4. They could easily be 5-3. They can have a better record than what they have now. They could be. So I think just for what he's done, and I think this may be like one of those projection picks, like for what I think he's going to do the next year or something like that. But I think he deserves it just because, like I said, coming into a brand new situation as a brand new coach with brand new like star players at key positions like that, at edge and at quarterback, and to be able to be 4-4 right now with how weird this season's been with injuries and just weird games, I think I can give it to D'Amico Ryans right there.
Yeah. I think y'all both make a pretty good case for D'Amico, because there's two type of coaches at the years. There's coaches who like have mediocre rosters and drag them to the playoffs, or like young coaches who drag a young team to the playoffs. And then there's just coaches who are their team is beating the crap out of everybody. And that happens to be John Harbaugh. I'm gonna go with John Harbaugh for Coach of the Year. And early in the year, he was overly aggressive on going for it, and I like literally midseason, he said, I'm done with all that. I'm done with all of it. I have the best kicker in NFL history, and them 3 points going to take me a long way. Not only that, offense is clicking, defense is clicking, vibes are good in Baltimore. I'm going to go John Harbaugh. They might finish with the 1 seed out there in a very loaded division. Nobody's playing better football than them right now, aside from, like, I would say the Eagles and lately the Bengals. But yeah, I'm going with John Harbaugh. I think the Ravens are doing well, and he's a big reason, if not the biggest reason, because of that.
Yeah, that was almost my pick, but I forgot he won in 19. Harbaugh won in 19 when they went 11-5, and I was like, maybe that was like gifted a little bit. But I think this year would be valid too. I think it would be valid too.
You're gonna go Roquan.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't do that too.
He gonna go Roquan. He gonna go Lamar. He gonna go John Harbaugh. He taking
Zay Flowers and Trent Simpson.
Yes, we're taking it all. We're doing it all. But I don't think we have. I mean, there's comeback player of the year. We know who's winning that. So
who? David Carr? Derek Carr? I mean,
no, David Carr.
Miraculous midseason David Carr comeback is lit though. But yeah, DeMar Hamlin's probably gonna win that, even though he's been inactive. I get it, but I kind of wish they would. They could just honor him in a different way and give it to someone who actually is playing. That kind of just sounds messed up because what he's doing is truly like amazing. That he survived that, but there's some people who are playing. So there's some people who actually play football
where they don't give participation trophies. I thought it was football, and then I'm just not even hate on DeMar Hamlin. It's just the facts of it. The reason nobody knew who he was before it happened. He's third string because he wasn't playing. So it's like, like I feel you. I think they should honor him in a different way. I don't think you can just give comeback player of the year award to
anybody.
I think it's like charity. I don't think he even would want that because that's like charity. Because I didn't do anything.
If I were him, I wouldn't. But I'm not him. I don't speak for him. He's gonna get the award.
I'll tell you this. I think Josh Dobbs is a legitimate case to win this award.
That's valid. That's valid for the same reason. For the same reason Geno won it. He just went from bum not playing to like 1 year wonder. But
elite
okay.
Pick, elite.
Well, with that being said, we got all of our midseason awards out the way. Again, bulk of the episode that just lasted like forever. But we're gonna get into hots and locks real quick. Danny, you want to get us kicked off with hots and locks?
Yeah, the lock of the week. It's gonna be. Bear with me. I got to pick up the schedule real quick. Lock of the week is none other than the Jets over the Raiders in another primetime game. I think the Raiders have found a new identity with Antonio Pierce, but are still bad. They're still not a good football team.
Locking the big Jets in the big 2023, that's very scary, but I do respect it nonetheless.
Robert Saleh will get them a win. They're 4-4. And
sorry.
The hot of the week is that the Los Angeles Chargers beat the Lions. I think the Lions have proven that their defense is not as great as people think as it is, that they can get sliced up by a good quarterback who has some weapons. Keenan Allen might not be able to stretch them deep, but he can go underneath. He can get into the tight places, and that's for one. Justin Herbert will be able to dice his team up. He didn't play horrible against the Jets, but he played okay. And I think the Jets defense is substantially better than this Lions defense. It's going to come down to, can that Chargers defense stop the run, Jahmyr Gibbs, and can they stop Amon-Ra? I think they can. I think you put a little damper to them and Herbert just responds. I think it's going to be very similar to Chiefs versus Lions week 1.
You took my hot, you asshole. I will say, though, with Herbert, of all the elite quarterbacks I had to go through QB hell, that being the Jets defense, he didn't turn it over. He wasn't efficient by any means. He didn't really play a good game, but he didn't turn it over. Yeah, and that's what they thrive off of. Short fields that give them points. But hey. Chris, you want to go next? Because, now I got to think of a different hot because of this asshole.
Yeah. So
Only I get the spread Chargers propaganda. Damn you.
what's my hot? Okay, so my hot take for the week is that the Cardinals beat the Falcons. And the reason I'm taking that hot is because clearly the Falcons have no clue what they're doing over there. They don't even know if they have a generational running back and a generational tight end for that matter. I'm calling Kyle Pitts generational. I am. So, and for that, they deserve nothing nice. So the Cardinals are going to beat them. That's my hot take. And my lock of the week, I was going to choose my Ravens, but I've spread enough Ravens propaganda today. So I'm gonna choose Jaguars over 49ers.
Ooh, that's a bull lock. I will say. I think the Jaguars are winning that game, but hey,
The
that's
only reason
nice.
I say that is because the 49ers been on a skid, and you would say, like, oh, this is the game they figure it out and get it back, which I think that could be. This could be that game. But for that sake, it's like, I suck at these anyway, so it's like, let me just go my first mind. I'm going to pick the Jaguars over 49ers.
You are also an asshole because my eyes went immediately to that Cardinals game because Kyler's going to be back.
He is. I forgot.
Kyler is going to be back. I'm looking to pick him up in 2 different leagues. I need him bad. Because Mahomes is on a bye this week, so I need him really bad. Mahomes and Hurts are on a bye, and those are my guys. Those are my quarterbacks. I can start with my lock this week. Oh man, what a slate of games! It's like, no, I'm gonna lock the Cowboys over the Giants. That feels like the easiest possible thing to do. Cowboys get a bounce back win. They are 16-point favorites. Oh my god, that is insane for NFL standards. You know what? I'll make it even hotter. The Cowboys cover the spread. I'll do that to make it fair. So Cowboys got to win by 17 points. It says 16. I'll round it up 16 and a half. They got to cover the minus 16 and a half spread. That's what I'm going with. Cowboys over Giants by 16 and a half. For my hot, I'm going to do it. For my hot take, I think the Texans go into Cincinnati and get a win and end the little hot streak that Cincinnati has going.
Yes.
This isn't Bengals hate, you freak. This is Texans love, not Bengals hate. Yeah, I mean, CJ Stroud and Joe Burrow, 2 of the most complete quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion. This is going to be such a shootout. It's going to be nice. Texans defense, again, will not show up this week. I'm all for it, though. I think the Texans go on the road, get a super clutch win, and they'll be 5-4, and they'll be right in the thick of the AFC playoff race. I wholeheartedly see this happening.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we have to note, teams after this week 10 have to decide: do I want to tank and do I want to be mediocre or do I want to tank? Because like the Packers, they'll be 3-6. You might as well tank for a top 10 draft pick. Like both the Titans and the Bucks, they're both 3-5 going into this week. You both want to tie at that point. You don't want to get any better at that point.
Yeah, and they could have done that at the deadline, but there are some teams that kind of like. I do get what you're saying though. But
if you have 5 losses currently, you're probably not getting the playoffs unless you make a very, very, very long run.
Well, I think the Bucks could, because sometimes it just matters your division. So
yeah, the Bucks could, but yeah, exactly.
All right.
Nonetheless,
so,
Summit savings of the week.
Let's do it.
We'll try to keep it quick because we're an hour and 10 in the video so far.
Hey, it's a banger.
It is a banger this week. CJ Stroud top 1.
Yes. But yeah, you're free to start, man.
My Summit savings. I'm going to start with the Browns upsetting the Ravens. I think the Browns go into Baltimore and they're running all over the Ravens. I know Chris doesn't like that, but I think the Browns have some weird mojo. They have this weird defense that they can throw at the Ravens. And historically, they've always matched the Ravens really well, which is weird. I'm going to go a 5-leg parlay. Give me the Steelers at home against the Packers. Give me the Patriots in Germany. Give me the Jaguars at home against the 49ers. And give me the Falcons on the road against Kyler.
All right. Yeah, the 5-leg parlay. Sorry. Give me one moment. I'm just going to give people an idea of how that would.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, I got it right here. $10 pays out to $431 on that 5-leg parlay. I definitely will be running that. I might no, I can't run that. I can't do that. I can't pick against one of y'all teams and look to make money off it. That's sicko activity, to be quite honest.
If I was you, I'd do it because now I'm scared. I may do it myself. I'm nervous. Thanks a lot, Danny.
you either win money or
your happiness
or your team wins.
At what cost?
I want money, but at what cost?
I've been doing that, so I've been betting against my happiness. So either you're happy or you're feeling good financially. So you're happy either way, you know.
That's like actually sicko activity. If I put in a bet against the Eagles, I think I might throw up. Like I wouldn't be able to stomach that. Like,
you know how nasty I felt betting Lamar Jackson.
What am I missing? You said
touchdowns last week, and it hit. You know how nasty.
Pats, Jags, Steelers, Falcons, Browns.
Oh, Jags. Okay, Jags are plus 140. Okay. All right, Chris, floor's yours.
Well, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, because I know we gotta go fast. CJ Stroud passing yards over. Joe Burrow passing yards over. Fantasy Merchant Austin Eckler rush receiving yards over. And Mike Evans receiving yards over.
That's nice and short and sweet.
The lines have not been set for passing yards and rushing receiving yards, so we can't get an entire parlay set out yet for the payout. But
yeah,
they probably will be
I wish I could.
Yeah, but once I'm editing this, I'll be able to put it on the screen. But yeah, little 4-leg parlay: Stroud passing yards, Burrow passing yards, Eckler rush receiving yards, and Evans receiving yards. That's pretty solid. I like that. I was gonna dabble a little bit in that Houston game, back up my fire, but
y'all really love the games this weekend for real.
I know what I do love. I love this Cowboys game. I'll tell you that.
I do. I'm gonna bet Bengals Texans no touchdown scored.
Yo, 6-3 masterclass. Okay, so I mean, I'm just kind of gonna keep it in this Cowboys game. Let me just flip it to the back. I'm going to take Dak Prescott's pass and rushing yards combined. I'm going to take him also over on his touchdowns. I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks to get in the end zone. And I'm going to bet who's starting for quarterback for them this week? Not
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito, the most aggressive Italian we've ever seen in the NFL. I'm going to take him for an interception. Duh. Yeah. And then Cowboys cover the spread. So Cowboys cover the spread. Dak pass and rushing yards. Dak touchdowns. Brandon Cooks anytime touchdown. CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown. And Tommy DeVito throwing an interception.
You're forgetting about the most aggressive Italian of all time, Benvenuti.
He was like a slur. He was like a walking slur with it. Like he was letting it known he was Italian. Let it be known. But I don't know, Tommy DeVito, like that's nice. That's nice too. I don't know. They're both aggressively, Italian.
Yo, it's my cousin Tommy over there. Come on, man.
They said Tommy DeVito. He doesn't even avoid sacks. He just says, "Hey, I'm walking here." Dog. TikTok is a hilarious place, man. The comments be funnier than the videos. Oh my god!
But I don't know if you saw. Yeah. I don't know if you saw Antonio Pierce shout out of the week. Apparently, he used to be a high school football coach, and he made them do up downs at halftime because they weren't playing good, even though you're beating them by like 50 points.
I saw that. Yeah. I saw that. I mean, hey, bro, he's Compton, bro. He's cool, man. To me. But without further ado, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share this with a friend, comment down below. Comment down below your midseason awards as well, because I'm sure everybody will have different opinions. If you're listening to this on an audio platform, make sure you leave a like, download, leave a 5-star rating for us. Head on over to the YouTube, do all the same things. Y'all got anything to say before you get on out of here?
LeBron and KD in pool play soon for in-season tournament coming soon. LeBron versus KD in pool play.
I need that like I need air. Yes.
Bad.
What are you smoking on? What pack is that?
We smoking on that Bengals pack all week.
Oh my god! We just got off the.
I love Danny's Bengal hate, and I'm on that Bengals hate too.
He has Bengal hate. You have Baker Dak hate.
Oh my god! And Jared Goff hate and Matthew Stafford hate. Don't forget those.
I hate nobody.
I
I
do.
hate no one.
I hate some people. I'll tell you
Besides Luke Cornett, but he's all right. I'm gonna ramble if I get started. So, from AP New Freezer, Culture by Migos, and DC Young Fly. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week.